Good morning, Colorado. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Local Biz Buzz. I'm your host, Larry Hers, and today in studio, I have Pam from Miss Peabody's. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for having me.
So, we got a lot to talk about, but first I need to know, who is Miss Peabody?
Well, I'm Miss Peabody. That's my nickname from my grandmother because I've always worn glasses. Been wearing glasses since the womb, so her nickname for me was Miss Peabody.
What was your grandmother's name?
Helen
Okay.
Newman.
All right, and where did you grow up?
I'm a Denver native, but I always say that I'm a Denver native, but I was Louisiana love because I spent all my summers from like 6 until like 16 in Louisiana.
And did you visit your grandmother there?
Actually, my grandmother lived here, but my grandmother's sister lived there, so we would spend every single summer in the southern part, in a little town with cows and pigs, and it was cool.
I'm a New Yorker. Like I told you when I first met you, I'm like, I don't know what a tea cake is. Explain to a New Yorker what a tea cake
Well,
is.
a tea cake is kind of like a cookie, a biscuit, and a scone. It's not as like crispy as a cookie. It's not as dry as a scone. Kind of like in a mixture. It's a little bit of all of those things.
And in Louisiana, it's like standard tea cakes are served.
It is. Usually you get the traditional, and what I do, I took my grandmother's recipe, and then I tweaked it. So I have like 5 different flavors. So I have candied yam, hazelnut chocolate, lemon curd, banana foster, and the traditional, and all of these can be made gluten-free, but in the South, you typically just get the traditional.
So you came up with all these unique flavors?
Yes, because I wanted to try something different, and there was a company in Texas that was doing very similar work, and they were making different flavors of tea cakes, and I liked that. So I created my 5 different versions, and I'm thinking about starting a chai tea in honor of Kamala in January. Looking at that one.
So the reason why we started this show is because a lot of people lost their jobs during the pandemic and went to their passion and turned it into businesses. And although you didn't lose your job during the pandemic, you have the same story, right?
Yes. I started my business because I got fired from a job, and I just decided that no one was going to ever like control my destiny like that again. And I was watching the Great British Baking Show, and they were talking about food that inspired them, that they grew up eating. And for me, it was tea cakes. Like tea cakes, when we would travel from Denver to Louisiana, we had tea cakes. When you went to church just to tide you over, you had tea cakes. When you were out playing, you had tea cakes. So it was just a big part of my life, and it just made me feel connected to my grandmother and the people that I had lost, because I had lost that job, and I needed a hug, and this is how I got my hugs.
And what year did you start this?
2018.
Okay.
I actually became legal in 2018, but I started my testing and everything in 2017. And I was just going to see what people thought. I didn't really know I didn't even think about a business because I'd already started a business where I was doing tours, 5 Points. So I already had been working on that. But when this happened, it ended up being a passion for me. I'm not a chef, but I love baking. I love the connection that you get from food. I love how food just makes you remember and makes you think about things and the love that comes from food.
And these are family recipes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, let's talk about what you brought today. So we'll start right here with what we got right over here.
This here is a chess pie, and a chess pie is like a custard pie. And it was my mom's favorite pie. Like, we had chess pies all the time. And I don't quite know where the name I heard came from. They used to store them in like a chest. I heard that people couldn't say chest, and they said it's just a pie, and they ended up being chest. So I'm not sure where the name comes from, but it's just a really delicious, sweet, like really savory, sweet custard-like pie. Like, it's getting to be one of my best sellers. People, when they get it, they like it.
And what flavor is it?
It's sugar, buttermilk. It's just custardy, eggs. So the flavor is
So this is standard chess pie wherever you go. This is what.
Well, you can add like chocolate, you can add like rum, you can do lemon, but the basics still are like buttermilk, sugar, eggs.
And do you have different flavors you sell?
I just do the traditional custard, just the traditional chess pie.
All right, you bringing over the box?
Now this here is my sweet box, and my sweet box allows me to try different things out to see what people like. And what it is, you get 6 treats in the box, and out of the 6 treats, one of them is always from another guest baker, always from a female guest baker. So like this month, I have gluten-free brownies from Jessica, who is with Bosco Bakery.
I don't
But
know
this
that.
month, you get homemade Pop-Tart, which is a cranberry orange homemade Pop-Tart.
Can you get all this? Is this all?
You get banana nut bread, a homemade mini apple pie, a candied yam tea cake. I mentioned the brownie, and then that is called a German chocolate cookie stack. So instead of getting German chocolate, you get a German chocolate cookie stack.
And then you got some dipping sauces too.
Oh yeah, and then I happen to have a little bit of extra. That's apple butter. I made some, and I had extras, so I thought I'd throw that in the box. And that's the icing for the Pop-Tarts. But I love the box. The box gives me an opportunity to try different things that I might want to add to my regular repertoire. And every month you can get a box every month, and every month it changes. And there's always a female guest baker. My baker next year is a 13-year-old girl.
How much does a box cost?
The boxes are $35.
And how do you get the box?
You order the box. You order everything online. You can order everything online, and then either you can pick it up from my commercial kitchen, or you can have it delivered. And I am working on shipping. I hope to be able to ship by the end of the next month.
And this looks like make your own pie?
This is called Miss Peabody Makes, and you roll and bake. And what you get, I have it in 2 flavors. You get the sweet potato, and you also can get the chess pie. You get enough pie mix to make a pie. You get your own pie dough, and you get a tin to roll out your own pie. So like for date night, if you can't cook and you want to act like you can cook, and you could bring the pie. You know, family, when you have kids, something to do when you're at home with your kids and you can't really get out, you can make the pie. And it's the same pie that I normally make, but then you do the work. So I call it Miss Peabody Makes, and you roll and bake.
So all you need is a rolling pin?
I need a rolling pin, a wine bottle, a jar.
Okay.
You know, you can probably measure with your hands, but whatever it takes to get that done, you roll it out yourself.
I'm going to try one of these tea cakes before we leave, that's for sure. You want me to try this one?
Yeah, try the candied yam.
And then the crazy thing, I saw that you can get them gluten-free. My wife is celiac.
Okay, okay.
And this looks right up her alley.
Yeah, I can make everything. The crust can be gluten-free, everything except the box. The box is not gluten-free, but I do try to use Jessica a lot because she is totally, at Bosco Bakery, she is totally a gluten-free baker. But I try to always have at least one gluten-free item in the box, but that won't be gluten-free totally.
Do people order through your website?
Yes, my website is www.misspeabodys.com, and you order online. I get this piece of paper, I print it out, and that's how I bake.
What kind of lead time do you need?
Well, this week has been really busy. I need at least 3 or 4 days. So and I try to deliver on Saturdays because people tend to be home on Saturdays. So if you place an order between like Monday and Wednesday, you could get it on Thursday, but I try to do everything on Saturdays. And you also can buy my products at a tea shop called Tea Lee's Tea House in 5 Points. You can buy my product there as well. Miss Risa sells the tea cakes there. And I make mini pies. So I didn't have one, but I make little 3-inch mini pies. So the same pies in 9-inch, but you also can get them in 3 inches. And she sells them there. So either online at my website, misspeabodys.com, or at Tea Lee's Tea House on 611 22nd Street in 5 Points.
I feel like you must make a pecan pie.
I do.
Whoa.
Sort of. It's
Sorta?
actually a combination of like 2 pies in one.
Okay.
So it's sweet potato at the bottom and pecan on
Come on.
top. Oh, let me tell y'all, yes.
I think you're going to have to go home and go get me
Sweet
one of
potato
those.
pecan pie.
Come back real quick. It's that I want to try. Yeah. This isn't
You know
live
what?
or
I would
anything.
bring you guys one back next week. I'll come back out next week and drop one off for you.
Pamela, pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you.
You too.
We have El Mariachi food truck on What's for Lunch today. I'm going to have my first tea cake. Let's eat.
Yes. It's good, huh?
You dunk it in tea?
You can dunk it in tea. You
I
can do
could
it
see
with
that.
coffee, milk. One of my customers likes it with cold water. Go figure, but you know, I don't ever.
What does that remind me of? That's really good. No, I'm still going, Josh? I know it's still going. I thought we went long enough.